So I did an interview with the lady at Sea Life Park that rehabilitates those wedge-tail shearwater seabirds. And what she says about the lights is that one thing that we recommend is if you live on the beach, turn off your lights at night. If you don't need them, turn them off. If you have a floodlight, get rid of it. Or if you have lights, point them down at the ground so that they're not facing the sky. If they're not facing the sky, the birds won't focus on them as much. What we mostly stress is if you can turn off your lights at night, go ahead and turn them off. That is a huge help. So, to prevent light pollution, you should use proper shielding on your lights. So, the picture on the very left there is a totally unshielded light. So from the light source here, the light is going out in every direction. So the light is going up into the sky, which is producing light pollution where you can't see the stars. Over here you can see the stars, over here you can't. You see this yellow, orange sky glow. And there's a little guy standing here. So it also creates glare. So because of all that glare, it's very hard to make out this little guy standing here. Way over here on the right, you can see with the better shielded lights, you can actually see the guy because the contrast is better. So, so that's very bad, totally unshielded. The next one is a little better, where the light source is below a little bit of a shielding here, and so it cuts off this much of the light that would normally be going off and prevents it from going up. And things are a little better. You can see a little more stars. And then as you move over here, this shield actually cuts off all the light above the horizontal plane of the light. This is pretty much what we're asking for as far as reducing light pollution. Try to prevent any of your light from going upward above the horizontal plane of the light. So that helps a lot. But then you still get a lot of light that goes out and sideways. The light that goes sideways can go into people's windows, which you don't want, and that would be light trespass, and that this still creates some glare. And if the light fixture is below the bottom of the shield, then you can still see the filament of the bulb, the light's shining directly into your eye and creating glare. So this one over here, it's more shielded, where the light goes down at a 45. The light bulb is probably recessed into this shield cap here to where you're not looking directly at the light bulb itself. The filament, the light isn't coming straight into your eye. The light is only lighting the area that you're intending to light. And in this case, you're not going to have any upward light that creates sky glow and prevents you from seeing the stars or confusing birds or anything like that. There's no sideways light that would cause light trespass or glare. So, and with these kind of light, the light shields, if the inside of the light shield is reflective, all the light that normally would have been going up is now being reflected down, doubling the amount of light that's being reflected down, allowing you to use a lower wattage light bulb to light the same amount of area. And so here you're lighting the intended target, you're using less energy, you're not creating sky glow, you're not creating glare, you're not creating light trespass. So this is the best possible situation here. And you can see the stars. This is just a good example for a sign that I use that shows the difference between bad lighting and good lighting. This picture was actually taken during a blackout. There's a city behind this house that's creating all this sky glow here. And then during the blackout, lo and behold, there's the Milky Way, which wasn't able to see prior to this. Light pollution is making its way into the mainstream. It actually made the cover of National Geographic. This is from the November 2008 issue, The End of Night and Why We Need Darkness. And I've added here on the left an example, a bad example of lighting where the light is being cast out sideways, the light is going upwards and it's creating glare. And on the right side is a good example where the shielding is preventing any of the light from going above the horizontal. The light is recessed, and so there's no glare or any other kind of light pollution produced by this here. And this link here is the International Dark Sky Association, where you can get a lot of good information about light pollution and how to prevent it. This is a picture that I took. This is the Hilton Hawaiian Village on the beach in Waikiki. And they have these floodlights on the top of the buildings shining down onto the beach. This is just the top of one tower. There are several towers that all have floodlights on the top that are shining down onto the beach over here. And here's the result. This is actually a picture that I took handheld, no tripod. This is a 1 second exposure. All of those floodlights are aimed down at this beach, lighting up this beach. And this picture was taken at 2 a.m. It's like daytime out there. About a third of a mile out is a surf spot where I like to go surfing, Kaiser Bowls, and you can actually see the light reflecting off of the whitewash off of those waves out there. And of course there's sea life out there. There's turtles and sharks, and we're lighting up the beach like it's daytime. Standing over here, I took a picture looking this direction, and you know all those little divots that you get in the sand. I could see this light lighting up all of those divots all the way down the beach to the next hotel, which is really far. If you've ever been on this beach, the next hotel is the Outrigger Reef Hotel. So here's another view, and this is from the walkway where I was just talking about, where you can see those divots if you look to the right here. So here's those 3 spotlights that were in the first picture there. And here's another tower over here with some more spotlights on them, and they're all directed down at the beach at 2 a.m. I've actually been out there at 5:30 in the morning, and these lights are on then too. This is a picture that I took in New Mexico. This is part of my astrophotography that I like to do. That requires a very dark sky, and so that's why I did this in New Mexico, at Clayton Lake, New Mexico, in the northeast corner of New Mexico near the Oklahoma Panhandle. So the exposure time on this photograph was 208 seconds long. So I left the shutter open for 208 seconds. Now if I was to do that any place where it wasn't as dark as there, instead of getting all of these beautiful colors, you'd have that orange sky glow just lighting up this picture. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't take very many seconds for this whole picture to be just totally white or orange from those lights. This is a picture that I took from the Oklahoma Panhandle, and this is the Milky Way. It's kind of sideways here. The land is over here, and the Milky Way is going up from there, and you can see that, you know, immediately above the ground you can see stars. There's no glow that you get from the cities that prevents you from seeing the bottom half of the sky. You can see the stars in the sky all the way down to the tops of the trees on the ridge line in the distance. Now this is a picture that I took here in Hawaii during the Pleiades meteor shower a couple of years ago. I wanted to go out and get some pictures of the meteor shower. So I went away from Waikiki and Honolulu, away from the light pollution from the big city here. Went out to Kapolei near Makakilo, which is, you know, a lot more dark than near the city. And this is what I got here. Now that's, you know, nothing like these pictures here where you have a black sky with white stars. Here you have white stars against an orange sky. This is the orange glow that's created by the light pollution. And this picture was taken from Diamond Head Road, looking towards the University of Hawaii. This one was taken on Alawai Boulevard, looking across the Alawai there at the soccer field at Iolani School. Now I feel sorry for these people in these buildings over here, because you know that all of this light is shining into their windows. And they usually turn these lights off about 10 p.m. So that's fine and dandy if you're up until 10 p.m. But, you know, if you have a shift job or you need to be sleeping at that time, I guess you're kind of out of luck. And this is a picture that I took on H1. This is just before the Punahou exit. And look at all these lights. Not really necessary to have that many lights. I mean, you have headlights on your car. What are they for? You don't even need them anymore. I often see people driving around Waikiki with their headlights not even on, and they probably don't even realize it, because you turn your headlights on, it doesn't make a difference. And here's another photograph that I took from a very dark place in the desert of Southern California. And my message here: the night sky is a natural resource that needs protected. Light up imagination, not the sky.